COVID-19 cases have dropped steadily in Michigan, but the pandemic is still having a very real impact. The Michigan Secretary of State is still in a backlog of in-person appointments for transactions that cannot be done online. Legislators on both sides of the aisle acknowledge the problem. Republicans think SOS branches should be open for walk-in service. Democrats are seeking federal stimulus funds to hire more staffers and increase the number of branch appointments. State House Democrat Sara Cambensy weighed in and suggested there could be a compromise.
We have Democrats and Republicans that believe that if we at least got back to a blended option, you wouldn't have the frustration, you wouldn't have the anger, and you could actually accommodate people how they like to be served. And then at that point, once we can see that people are actually getting in and getting their business done, do we actually need to appropriate extra money? I think that's a fair way to look at it, rather than just throwing money at something where, we obviously feel that there's an issue with an administrative policy that they implemented.
Pieces of legislation have been introduced in the Michigan House of Representatives and Senate to try and solve the problem. The bills range from spending millions to hire new workers and pay for overtime to extending the expiration date on driver's licenses and personal identification cards.
You're going to see a lot of bills come out in the next month before we break for the summer. And, for me, I tend to agree with my colleagues that instead of just throwing money at this issue, we really want to make sure that our constituents' voices are heard, and they would like a blended option. We understand that we can save a lot of time by having that online option and bring people up to speed who are willing and able to do it. But we still need, before we throw extra money at it, extend hours, or increase the Secretary of State's budget, to go back and revisit why we can't have some in-person options for appointments.
Earlier this week, Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson added appointment availability, which added 350,000 additional appointments and helps people with disabilities receive placards quicker. Benson has said that she will not go back to the take a number and wait system.